Hello, YouTube. I'm making this video in response to some crackpot ham operator who chooses to get some brownie points by bashing other people, with their videos. Uh, this comes from this YouTube channel, Ham and Shortwave Radio. Some guy, Greg W, call signs OH2FFY, from Finland. I'm just making this video in response to your video. Now, first of all, Greg W, I know you're from Finland, but this is America. And in America, we have a Constitution. And in our U.S. Constitution, our First Amendment gives us the right to free speech. Now, I don't know about Finland, but I know here in the United States of America, we have the right to say what we want to say. Now, what you can do is, if you don't like my videos and what I put out here, you can do yourself a favor and take your mouse. I'm sure you have one connected to your computer, and just left click on it and navigate away from my video. Because no one asks you for your opinions on anything. Second of all, we have in the United States what are called copyright laws. And you do not have any permission from me, written or verbal, to use any portion of my video to glorify yourself. Because basically what you're doing is you're making a complete idiot out of yourself. Because if you don't like what somebody says, do yourself a favor. Tune them out. And I just love all these people that left negative comments under your video. Feel free to leave your comments. But if you're really that ticked off, leave your call signs so the world will know who you are. I'm just going to read a few of these, and I'm going to give you a response, my response, because everything has a dark side. When the sun goes down, it's dark outside. There's also the dark side of the moon. So what I'm doing here is I'm exposing the darkness. There's a dark side to everything. And if you want to know my call signs, just look at it. It's right here. This is my vanity call signs. KK for the number 4, DRK. Well, I guess the KK means that I'm here in the western United States. But this is for darkness. And there's an old saying that says that if you throw a rock in a pack of dogs, the one that barks the loudest is the one that got hit. In other words, if it don't apply, let it fly. You don't have to agree to anything that I say. Like I said, just feel free to navigate away from my channel. YouTube also has policies, that your video has been flagged. And I like these responses from guys like Joe Pagley. Joe Pagley, please leave your call signs to let the rest of the ham radio world know that you're a complete idiot. I'm just letting the newbie know, the newbie guy, the guy that's new to ham radio, that everything isn't always peaches and cream. Just because you go out and memorize a test 35 question test from a question pool, and you're able to answer the question from memorization, doesn't mean that once you get on the air, you're going to be greeted with welcome arms. That is not the case. Now, being here in Southern California, you know, there's a repeater here, and I'm not going to mention the call signs, and everybody around here knows about it. They violate every FCC rule in the book. You hear everything from music to cursing to racism, and the people on there are very impolite. So I don't know about in Finland, but this is what's going on here in America. And thank God that this particular repeater isn't on the wind system or none of the other IRLP nodes. You know, I understand that, you know, the comment from Mr. Jerry Powell. Mr. Jerry Powell, please feel free to leave your call signs. I understand that you were once a CB radio enthusiast. But it's the same people in ham radio that were once into CB radio. They just migrated over to the other frequencies, and it's still the same mentality amongst radio operators. Now, Mr. Survival Tech, as far as destroying someone by line, you're just showing your ignorance here. You don't have to defend amateur radio. Amateur radio speaks for itself. You know, you don't have to defend it, because anybody that gets a license and they get online will understand that there is a dark side to this. And there's not a small minority of people in amateur radio that's rude. There are a bunch of cliques. You know, you get racist comments, you know, from people that say that, oh, well, ham radio isn't for black people. Well, you know, here, I took my amateur radio exam in South Central Los Angeles. Hey, if you don't know anything about it, just look in the news. And here in South Central Los Angeles, the VEs that administered the test, they just so happen to be black. So now we call them African American. So just because you're African American doesn't mean that you can't apply for an amateur radio license. So I like to comment here. I have a comment here before me. The guy's name is Chad Jones. Chad Jones, feel free to leave your call signs too. See, when you guys leave these negative comments, please, I beg of you, please leave your call signs so everyone else will know who you are. You know, as an amateur radio operator, it doesn't matter whether you're general class, amateur extra. This is not a very exciting hobby. You know, what is so exciting about it? There are more people into social media right now. There's over 50 billion people, over 1 billion people on Facebook. There's people on Twitter, Google+, Instagram. And guess what? None of them are as rude and as obnoxious as ham radio operators. So, if you want to know my call signs, look right there. It's right before you. KK for DRK. That's for the dark side of ham radio. And again, there's still, everybody in ham radio is older than dirt. It's a fact of life. It's something about the truth that hurts. And that includes you too, Mr. Florida Shooter, whoever you are. Please feel free to leave your call signs too. You know, I'm going through these and these crazy comments you have on all these so-called experts. This just goes sheds a little light onto something that, you know, you think that you're going to get glory from by being an amateur radio operator. Well, you're in for a rude awakening. Because if a first grader and someone in kindergarten can go out and pass this, what kind of accomplishment is it? What have you accomplished? You know, what kind of hobby is this? This is sad. See, if no one complains, it'll never change. The people never change unless you wait for everybody to die out. You know. And, you know, here's another one. Bobby, Tectalabyss. No, I can't pronounce your name. But where do you hear some racist rants in my video? There are none. It's just the fact that this is not favorable for anyone to be involved in. So if you're new, from a newer generation, stick with social media. Don't be a ham radio operator. Don't be a ham operator. Don't be a ham radio operator. What for? There is a dark side. There is a dark side to ham radio. All you have to do is look at these comments. Look at the comments and the mentality of the people that's in it. Do you really want to be a ham operator? A ham radio operator? Is that something that you envisioned, that you go out and you take the test and that you've memorized from a question pool, and you go into a room full of old people, people older than dirt, people who are rude, people who are in cliques? What's exciting about it? So if you don't like this video, I don't know what's going on in Finland, but I do know what's going on here in Southern California. And if you don't like this video, 73 to you too. But you do not have my permission to use any of my videos for your own glorification. So do yourself a favor and take down your video, because you are in violation of YouTube's terms and agreements. I hope you do understand that. 73 to you.